let's start a first tutorial about beginning with Python. And so let's see what we have to do to install Python. You have to go and digit Python in your browser, and so that you can go on python.org. The first link here that you will find, and you will download the latest version. At the moment that I'm doing this, it's the Python 3.7.4. So you choose the one, you go down here, down, and you choose the one that you need for the Windows version and the macOS version. Windows, there it goes. There are all these versions here. For example, for Windows, once you downloaded your version, you can go in the terminal, for example, there it is, and go and do Python 3, enter, and you see here we have Python 3.7.4, and you can start using Python. Python can be used as a calculator. If you do 100 plus 20, you can have these numbers, you can multiply, do many things, and so you don't need a calculator anymore. There it is. And but if you want to remember something into and give it a label, you can go and do a equal 10, and when you go print a, it will show you 10. So for example, let's use the first function print to show on the screen the result of something, like the result of what is stored under the name a. You can use any name. You can use a name like name, for example, and instead of a number you can use a string into apostrophes. And so when you digit this label, it will give you John, or you do go print name, and you will have the string to appears. You can change a number, you can't change, and you see first we had a equal 10. You can make a equal 100, sorry, 100 per multiplied 3, and now it becomes 300. And with this we can also have, not, let's see what type of what is stored in a, what is the type of the variable, and you can see here that is an integer class. Okay, and if you want to have an help about the integers in Python, you can go and press int, help int. So you can see here that int x, it accepts a number, and it returns an integer when you use int, and it converts a number of string to an integer. So, and you see you got here all the methods and attributes of this class int here. But let's exit from this. Okay, Let's go to the end of this if I can. Okay, finally we are to the end. And so the type A is an integer. And instead, the type of name is the type. The type of name is a string, and you cannot change a string. Oh well, you can give it another value. Harry, and something else will be stored in it. You can also change it into an integer, giving it a number, as because Python can change the type. It's not once you gave a value that is, for example, a string, you don't have to maintain that. It's very flexible, but you have to pay attention to that because it could bring you some mistakes in your code. You got to pay attention to this. And so now that I give a number to name, now its type, it's no longer a string but an integer. We can have also a float. If you go 1.5, the type of B will be a float, so a number with that it's not an integer, but it got a floating point. And so what we have, apart from integer, floats, and strings, we can have also we can have lists. So we can give to a label more values, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whatever. And so this, the type of this of A this time will be a list. And to get access, if you go and print A, you will have all the list. If you go and go to A0, you will have the first item of a list, because the list, like the arrays, because the lists in Python are what arrays are in other languages, will be the first number. And so you can go to the last number, going to A-1, that is 5. You can also have a part of this list starting from, for example, the second the item 2, that is we need the index 2 is the third element, because we start from 0, 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2 are 3 elements, to the let's see, the third element, that is the 5th one, because it starts from 0, but the 5th one is excluded. And so we should have from 3 to 5, yeah, to 4, sorry, because the last one is excluded. And okay, and the first one is the third, number 3, that is the third element, even if we write 2, because we start from 0, 1, 2 in the list, right? This if we do another thing here and we put just the column, we will have all the list, because we start from 0 and go until the end. It's the same thing, like we go 0 to the end, like this. We can go, so 0 to -1, we go to we exclude the last one. If we go A1 -1, you will have 2, 3, 4, excluding the first and the last one, for example. And so you can copy a list, and but if you do B equal A, you will not create a new list, but you will just give two different names to the same point in the memory where we get this list. So if we change A or B, the changes will be will affect either A or either B, because they are pointing to the same memory, to the same data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A is equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and B is equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they are not two different lists that got the same that got the same elements, but they are the same list. So if I do add something to the first list with append, that is what I use to, if I append the number 6, I will have 6 number in A, but if I go in B, I could expect to have just 5 elements, but I have 6 because B is not different from A. It's another way to call the same list. So I am doing a reference to the same list. What if I want to copy A, but without creating a new identical list? You can do it with A column, and so let's see, now we got 6 elements in C, but let's add an element in A, the 7th element in A. We have 7 elements in A, and if you go in C, we will have just 5 elements because they are different. And because they are different, and you could see that also because they are stored in memory in differently. Okay, so for now, this is the first tutorial about Python, where we have seen how to download it and install it, and how to run it from the terminal to see some basic stuff about integers, floating variables, and strings.